Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Our today's topic for discussion is The Sniper, written by Liam O Flaherty. In today's lesson, we will be discussing from para number 7, page number 52. So let us start. Just then, an armored car came across the bridge and advanced slowly up the street. It stopped on the opposite side of the street. 50 yards ahead, the sniper could hear the dull panting of the motor. His heart beat faster. It was an enemy car. He wanted to fire, but he knew it was useless. His bullets would never pierce the street that covered the grey monster. Then around the corner of a side street came an old woman, her head covered by a tattered shawl. She began to talk to the man in the turret of the car. She was pointing to the roof where the sniper lay. An informer. The turret opened. A man's head and shoulders appeared, looking towards the sniper. The sniper raised his rifle and fired. The sniper raised his rifle and fired. The head fell heavily on the turret wall. The woman darted toward the side street. The sniper fired again. The woman whirled around and fell with a shriek into the gutter. Dear students, in these lines, the writer says that after few moments, the sniper saw a bulletproof military vehicle advancing slowly up the street. This bulletproof military vehicle, it was advancing slowly up the street. It stopped on the opposite side of the street. This military vehicle, it stopped on the opposite side of the street, and I came to know that it was his enemy's vehicle. The sniper observed that it is his enemy's vehicle. He felt to fire at it, but knew that the bullets would not pass through the steel of the vehicle. He wants to fire at the vehicle, but he knows it that the bullets would not penetrate through the steel of the vehicle. So then he saw an old woman who was approaching from the corner of the side street. Her head was covered with a torn shawl. The head of the woman was covered with a torn shawl. The woman informed the soldier in the vehicle that there lay a sniper on the rooftop of the building. He was pointing towards me. The sniper says here that he was pointing towards me. The writer says that this woman was pointing towards the sniper. She was pointing towards the building. The soldier opened the turret. The soldier opened the turret. Who was in the vehicle? Who was in the vehicle through which this bullet cannot penetrate? So this soldier opened the turret. He raised his head and shoulders and looked at the sniper. Here writer says that when this informer lady told the soldier who was in the car, who was in the military vehicle, and then this soldier opened the turret. He raised his head and shoulders and looked at the sniper. The sniper took his position. Writer here says the sniper took his position because he observed the actions of the woman and the actions of this soldier who opened the turret and who raised his head and shoulders and was looking at the sniper. Then suddenly the sniper took his position and fired at him with his rifle. The man or the soldier who was in the turret, he was killed in the vehicle. The old woman ran towards the side street. He thought that the woman was an informer to the enemy soldier, therefore he should also be killed. Therefore he he thought that this woman should also be killed. So therefore, any time, without wasting any time, he killed the old woman. The woman fell with a huge cry into the gutter, into the drain. Now, para number 10 on page number 53. Suddenly, from para number 10. Suddenly, from the opposite roof of a shot rang out, and the sniper dropped his rifle with a curse. The sniper dropped his rifle with a curse. The rifle clattered to the roof. The sniper thought that the noise would wake the dead. He stopped to pick the rifle up. He could not lift it. His forearm was dead. I am hit, he muttered. Dropping flat onto the roof, he crawled back to the parapet. With his left hand, he felt the injured forearm. Blood was oozing through the sleeves of his coat. There was no pain, just a dead man sensation, as if the arm had been cut off. Quickly he drew his knife from his pocket, opened it on the brickwork of the parapet, and ripped open the sleeves. There was a small hole where the bullet had entered. On the other side there was no hole. The bullet had lodged in the bone. It must have fractured it. He bent the arm below the wound. The arm went back easily. He ground his teeth to overcome the pain. Then, taking out his field dressing, he ripped open the packet with his knife. He broke the neck of the iodine bottle and let the bitter fluid drip into the wound. A paroxysm of pain swept through him. He placed the cotton wadding over the wound and wrapped the dressing over it. He tied the ends with his teeth. Then he lay still against the parapet, and closing his eyes, he made an effort of will to overcome the pain. In the street beneath, all was still. The armored car had retired speedily over the bridge, with the machine gunner's head hanging lifeless over the turret. The woman's corpse lay still in the gutter. The sniper lay still for a long time, nursing his wound arm and planning escape. Morning must not find him wound on the roof. The enemy on the opposite roof covered his escape. He must kill the enemy, and he could not use his rifle. He had only a revolver to do it. Then he thought of a plan. So, here in these lines, writer says that from the opposite side of a roof, A shot of bullet pierced the forearm of the sniper at that very moment. When the fire shot fire shot was pierced through the forearm of the sniper, at that very moment the rifle fell from his arm. He was unable to lift the rifle because the fire had penetrated into his body, into his arm, into his forearm. So his forearm was dead. He dropped flat on the roof. The sniper dropped flat on the roof and crawled back to the parapet. With his left hand, he felt the bullet had lodged in the wound. With his left hand, he observed that this bullet had lodged into the wound. He took his field dressing, which was with him. He took his field dressing and opened the packet with his knife. He took out the iodine bottle from the dressing box. He took the iodine bottle from the dressing box and dripped a little ointment into the wound, right? Which was caused by the fire, which was caused by the shot. He placed the cotton over the wound and wrapped the dressing over it, right? The sniper lay still for a long time, nursing his wounded arm. And in the meanwhile, he was planning his escape. He was now planning how to escape from the very site. It was not possible for the sniper to use his rifle to kill the soldier because his forearm was wounded. It was not working now properly. So it was not possible for the sniper to use his rifle to kill the soldier who was guarding his escape, who was watching his escape, who was guarding his escape. Whose escape? The sniper's escape. He had only a overlook to do it. Then he thought of a plan. Then he took off his cap. He took off his cap and placed it over the open, and on the gun barrel of his rifle, he pushed the rifle slowly upward over the parapet. The enemy on the opposite roof shot a fire at it, hit the cap in the center. The sniper slanted the rifle forward. The cap fell in the street. He also dropped his rifle in the street. Then he sank to the roof of a few moments, kept his body flat, and crawled down the parapet as if he had been killed. It was today's lesson. Hope you would have understood it. Thank you very much.